Hi, I'm Dan Lenny. Welcome to Istanbul in Turkey, where we're filming the demo reel for this new camcorder here for Sony. Now what I'm going to do over the next couple of days is take you on the shoot with me and along the way give you some tips and tricks to help you improve your shooting. Now the best place to start any demo reel, in fact any piece of film, can be a sunrise. Now you don't always get the sun going straight up into the sky with that classic look, but don't be disheartened, because actually what you can get, even with a morning like this where there doesn't appear to be a fantastic sunrise, using the 20x zoom lens on this camera, you can zoom right into details in the back of shots and get some really nice golden skies. And another little tip, if you're finding you're struggling with light early in the morning, try setting your shutter speed to 25 frames. And that way, as long as there's nothing moving in the frame, you get an extra stop of exposure. So shooting B-roll is something you're going to be doing a lot of when you're out filming. And if you want to just take it up a level from using a tripod, having a slider can be a great addition to your shoot. And what I'm able to do is then add some movement into some of the generic shots that we'll take on location. And it's very important when you're looking to create movement in a frame, if it's a slide like this, that you put some sort of foreground detail into the shot. And it can be as simple as just using a railing here. So you get a camera at a certain point, and as there's foreground activity in the cruise ships, I can just push the slider along, and you suddenly get a much more interesting frame. Markets are a great place to get interesting B-roll. But the danger is when you come to a place like this, there's so much to see and do that you can become overwhelmed by everything there is. So in this situation, what you want to do is build up a bit of a rapport with a market trader. So you start further back and start shooting some, generic wide shots. And then if you kind of get a good positive response, you can move a bit closer in. And again, this setup of a small camera with zoom built in, you don't have to change lenses. You can easily go from wide shot to tight shot. And as you get the kind of acceptance of the stall owner, you can get in closer and closer and closer. A question that I often get asked is, what's the best time of day to film, Dan? And of course, the best time of the day to film is not always in the middle of the day, but it's at the beginning of the day or towards the end of the day. The sun is low in the sky, and particularly when looking for a vantage point to get a nice landscape shot, because finding a high vantage point can be very, very beneficial. The reason you want to be shooting your big establishing shots this time of day when the sun is low in the sky is that contrast and light and shadow is what gives your image depth. And so in the middle of the day when the sun is high in the sky, there's no shadows, and so everything can look a bit flat and washed out. Whereas this time of day, when the sun gets low, the contrast really adds to the picture. So we couldn't make a film in Istanbul without going on the Bosphorus. To give the film some dynamism, we want to be on the water looking back at land, as well as being on land looking at water. So a couple of tips for shooting on the water: not a place for a tripod. Using the active steady shot function, make sure your camera's set to that. Use the eyepiece to brace against your face, get a good solid handle on the camera, and brace yourself well on the boat. So the big challenge when you're shooting boat to boat is communicating with the two boats to make sure that you get the boat in the position you want. And what we've just done, we've just literally finished with the last patch of sun. There's a streak on the water, and the challenge is making sure that both boats can be in the right position. So you join me as we started using the big sun, the big light in the sky. Now we're looking at a sunset, and really the secret to sunsets are making sure you get there with a good half an hour to spare before sundown, and then just let it happen in front of you. The long lens on this camera really helps to punch in tight, and we've got some glorious shots of the sun here. I hope you've enjoyed and learnt some things along the way, and I hope you enjoy the film.